winter of the deep piney woods of East Texas. I'm making this video even though there's very few people that are currently subscribed or even aware that I pump air on this planet. I'm going to make this video because I have those out there that are giving me input on how to refine the message that I'm trying to pass out and give to everyone. My objective here is to weaponize you, to use you as a tool to help save this country and to save you and your friends. I will say this. First of all, let me say that this shirt right here that I've got on, I love this shirt. Got it in Hawaii or somewhere. This shirt right here is is giving this green screen quite a problem. So bear with me. I do love this shirt. That's one thing that I want to point out is that what I'm bringing to you has so much power. It was given to me literally from the divine, from the river, the in-between, the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it. I take no claim to 100% creation of this. I am a co-creator with this concept that without shadow of a doubt, if you can hear my words, I'm going to use the vernacular so that you'll understand it, because that seems to be all that anyone is understanding, is that you can make more money, which is actually accumulate and store more energy for future use than you can possibly imagine if you have these qualifications. One, you love this country with a deep passion. Two, you understand that we live and founded our country on a constitution that guides us as it was written. Three, the Bill of Rights, which lets us know all of our inalienable rights given to us by our Creator, not granted to us by those who work for us in government. And four, the rule of law applied equally to all. All of the above are being very shaded now. It's coming to the point to where the lines are blurred between what's law and what's not law. Do we have to follow this law? They're not, so I'm not. But if I don't follow that law, they will bust your ass and they will not get in any trouble themselves. Everything is gone awry. Most people, now that this is just a starter little video introducing myself and this concept, I need to let you understand this. Do you require, if someone walked up to you and said, hey, I've got a pathway out of this mess. You're going to have to go with me. It's going to be a small group of people in the beginning, but we're going to get through. Not only are we going to make it through to the other side of the Jordan River and cross all this stormy water, but we're going to thrive beyond comprehension, because just on the other side of the Jordan is the promised land. Do you want to go? All that you have to do is love this country. The Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the rule of law applied equally to all. Are you in? And most importantly, you need to tell every single individual that you know and care about to get on this bandwagon, because we're headed across. We are a small group, but we will grow. You know, I had a person yesterday say, well, when are you going to launch? I'm launched now. What people don't realize is that I'm dealing with you, the person that can hear me. We're the only ones that are conveying messages back and forth right now. You're hearing me, I'm talking to you. If there were 10 million people there, the whole thing is about you. You always hear that the change starts within. In order to change the world, you got to change yourself. Well, pay heed to that, because that's what we're doing. I'm not here saying 10,000 people join with me. I'm saying you join with me. If there's 10,000 of you that are independently hearing me, then 10,000 people join. But it's a one-on-one. We have to understand that. You can't say something for the masses that's going to happen. It won't happen, because you have to change individual minds in order to make this thing happen. and happen solidly. So when do I launch? I launched day one that this concept was given to me by the divine, from the Holy Spirit, from the source of all good, the creator. I'm a co-creator with this. That's when I launched this. When will you come on board? As soon as you see that there's value in it for you. If there's no value in this for you, if you don't think that saving our country from all this bullshit that's going on out there right now, if that is not of value to you, please hit the road. You're more part of the problem than you are the solution. Hear me well. I'm not here to try to convert people into seeing that this country is the greatest country in the entire world, and we are a democratic republic. We are not a democracy. We use a democratic form of governing, but we have overrides and checks and balances because a democracy is mob rule. That's it. Ruled by the majority. Okay, that's a democracy. Ruled by the majority. Hell, if you've got a bunch of crackpots, which looks like what we've got up topside now, and they have majority, look what you get. It has to be a fair exchange of value for all sovereign beings. Each individual has a say-so of what's taking place in their own universe, because that's really, at the end of the day, is all that exists, is your personal universe. I can't get inside of you and live for you. I don't know when you stump your toe. I don't know when something that you see, smell, or feel upsets you. This is your universe. What I'm trying to do is get people in the same river, traveling the same directions. Many canoes, but we're all floating in the same river, headed to the same objective. It may not be exactly the same for me as it is you, but we're all in the same river. That's what I'm doing. So once you understand that this is analog, it's between you and I, not I'm trying to change everybody at one time, one mind at a time. As old Dave says over there on Common Sense, that he has a phrase that says something like saving America one mind at a time. That's exactly what's taking place. I need to get a hold of Dave. Dave Hodges. He's a pretty strong and dedicated individual. So let's take a look at what's taking place here. I've had many people say, well, you're never telling anybody how they can make money. No one leads and sends in or calls me and says, hey, how do I save this country? Yes, I definitely need some money, but I want to make sure that I'm carrying my own water. I'm doing my part to help save this country. Who said this? Care not what the country can do for you. Care for what you can do for your country. John F. Kennedy, Democrat. Democrats have changed their coat of armor, so to speak. No doubt. I have no question that the actions that they're taking are socialist, and really it's Fabian socialist belief system. Very few true Fabian socialists in the world today, but they're the puppeteers. They pit socialism against fascism. They'll hunt with any man's dog. Okay? They're Fabian socialists. They're in to win. And that's what we need to do. We need to counter that. So what I want to stress to people is this. They say, well, how do we do that? If you understood how powerful this concept and this tool is to use, I can't just blurt this out in front of the entire world, or it will be knocked off. By that I mean it will be copied. People will use it for their own self-gain. It will be abused and it will be turned against us. So what I have to do is train each and every one of the original, let's say 1,000 people. I have to personally train each and every one of you so that you understand and know the power of this tool. It can change this country by changing you. Yes, and you. Yes, and you. And all those people that you see around me here, if I happen to have a green screen with a lot of people, I think that I do. It has to be done that way. I will not blurt this out to the world of how it works. I've done that before and come up short. Number two is I have learned after damn near $500,000 later and taking everything that I own on this planet behind getting this out, I'm in. I'm all in, as they say in Texas 2-card hold'em. I am all in. All in to win. You have to be as well. You know, for what is a man to gain if he gains the entire world but loses his soul? It's easier to take a camel through the eye of the needle than it is to take a rich man to heaven. The meek shall inherit this earth. What I'm truly doing, I can mold this project to do anything that I want. I'm programming it. Okay? I'm programming it for one person, and that's you. You. Now, the way this is designed is that anybody, the meek shall inherit the earth, so it has to be at a point where everyone can qualify. You don't have to have any money. You can come in and just help and be a first responder and go out and find other sick-minded people and bring them into our triage, our school. See, we're having a school of critical thinking, common sense, and decision making. Every single thing in life starts with a single thought. Where attention goes, energy flows, and that's the seed of manifestation. That's what's happening. When you first saw that Chinese person or whoever it was, or it doesn't matter, with a mask on, and they used the word COVID-19, that might not have got your attention. But when you started seeing people drop dead like their statues being pushed over, I've seen that person fall over, just boom, you know that one that they show? And then it starts getting your attention. And then they mix in a little fear with this propaganda scam, black magic, and you focus more attention. Where attention goes, energy flows, and that is the seed of manifestation. They've got the hook set, and they're going to feed you fear, because fear is a motivator. You're going to burn in hell if you don't do right. Fear is a motivator, powerful motivator. And if someone can ride in on a white horse, and they can offer something that will help save you and alleviate this fear, they got your attention. And so anything that they say from that point forward, you're going to heed, and you're going to concede. If you only knew how the dynamic of the ruling class, that's the way to look at it, how they operate, the set of rules, they have to have consent. They have to have consent, because in reality, and I can show you this, in reality they have no jurisdiction. Oh, we're going to get deep into this. We're going to teach these things sub rosa, meaning below the rose, in privacy and secrecy. The Templars and the people back in the day, and many, they would go sub rosa, a sub rosa research society. We are not conspiracy theorists. That is horse shit. They come up with that word just to convolute, keeping people from researching. We are a sub rosa research society by the name of the Rabbit Hole Herald. We are the people's army of eyes and ears. Okay, you are the true source. I would trust you by going out and get a picture of what's shaking in Baltimore, Detroit, LA, my hometown, anywhere. I would trust your news coming from your heart to our mind hive, our group, than I would Jim Acosta or any of those people up there. They're beyond liars. They're downright evil. I sometimes wonder, do they really know down deep the foundation of what they're promoting? this Fabian Social Society? Do they? How many of those people actually know what they're doing? Or are they just puppets, just following what the boss says to do? Most likely it's the latter. Those that do know need to be feathered, run out of town on a rail, and then the rest of the people out there in the field, so to speak, in the bush, in the jungle, need to take care of them the proper way so that we don't have this problem anymore. 6 foot with lime on them, pushing up daisies. That's pretty much what needs to happen. But I'll bounce around here because this is not difficult. This is not difficult. I'm going to tell you that nothing in this world is free. If I were, which I have been, to lay this entire project out in its entirety, in the power of it, and then someone just slough it off and pass it to someone else who knocks it off, then we're fighting our own selves. They will take this tool, they'll prostitute it to high heaven, and then it will render us neutered. Okay, I'm not going to do that. This project has enough value in it to take you sitting in a double wide, or wish you were back in the double wide. You're in the car now, or you're under a damn bridge, wherever, to take that individual. That's the warrior. That's the meek person that I want to lift up. Because if you can help someone be lifted up, give them a hand up, not a hand out. That's what they say in 12-step programs. When someone truly needs help, help them out. Our country needs help now. And there's many people out there that are going to be under extreme stress in the not too distant future. They're trying to move everybody into what's called a universal income, to where you don't work. Everything you rent. Who owns it then? If no one owns anything, everybody rents it, but you get everything that you need. They don't put that word want in there. And then you're going to be judged by your efforts, your work, your value, and you'll be placed. This is right around the corner. Social crediting. You know, being able to grade people based on where they surf on the internet or what they do, whoever rolls on them, the brown shirts. That's what it is. We have an SS. That's the Silent Supporters. That's our SS, except it's SSS, Silent Supporter Society. Inside of this entire ecosystem that we're building. It's an Intel ecosystem where we rotate the value that we go out and find of what's really going on. Our other members will resonate with that, and then they'll show an appreciation for the value that they have gained from the work that you did. So you have to lace everything with a little sugar on the carrot. No one's going to do a damn thing nowadays unless there's something in it for them. Amen? To the person that says, well, how are you going to show us how to make money? That's what I'm talking about. You know, when you're in a foxhole and there's 2 of you or 3 of you, race doesn't matter, ethnicity doesn't matter, your belief system, religious doesn't matter. What matters is getting out of that damn foxhole alive. Everybody's in this thing together. They're not worried about how much money they're going to make if they smoke a gook or something, if they render another one neutered. Eliminate the problem. There isn't any prize in it other than you get to pump air a little bit longer. That's the level of play that we're at. They're not throwing bullets at us. They're throwing something worse than that. They're throwing fear. There is only one thing that I've found in my journey of life that beats fear, and that's greed. Just telling you, it's greed. What's in it for me? You keep raising the ante. Well, I'll give you this, if you'll go out there and do that thing dangerous. Oh, hell no, I ain't going to do that. They'll get mad at me. They'll dox me. They'll come by the house, raise the ante. It gets to a point to say, shit, Barbara, where's them bullets? I'm all in, boys. That's what happens. That's the human nature. Greed supersedes fear. It does. I've got some living examples I can tell you about throwing a purse out in the middle of a street and in a land far, far away, and watch the people who once were scared over in the corner, the little locals, head for that purse with bullets flying. Greed supersedes fear. Every time. There's piranha in that Rio Grande. I don't give a shit. I'm going to the other side of Jordan. I probably would be trying to swim that river myself if I was born in Mexico, but you can't do it that way. That's what they want us to do. They're just bringing people over here so they can hopefully get a vote, pollute the country, dilute down our working class, and cause havoc and chaos throughout our country so that their inevitable objective is to bring in the gray hats, the UN. That's what they're after, people. Shit yourself not. And that's when fur will fly. Let me get back to present here. I'm not going to be telling you or anyone else the exact nature and the working nature of this project and how it works. You have to put forth value. You have to have skin in the game. I'm going to offer this to people at a fair exchange of value to learn exactly what I'm talking about. Why am I doing that? Because you have skin in the game. I'll say this, is that if in fact, after you pony up and put skin in the game just to take a peeky poo at what I'm doing here, and you find that anything that I've said is not achievable, if you can show me how, if you follow my instructions and go out and spread the word of how much you love this country, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the rule of law applied equally to all, if you can show me, which you cannot, if you truly have passion for this country, I'm doing it right now. I'm not getting compensated a damn penny for this. I'm doing it because I love this country and I do not want to see it destroyed. If you can go out and tell your story, I saw chemtrails in the sky out there. You wouldn't believe what they're doing down at our city hall, at our school. I can't believe that what's happening with I had a friend of mine that took the vaccine and dropped dead. We need to know these things. It fortifies our spirit. It brings us closer together as a community. In us, we trust ournews.com. I have that one as well. I have Friends of Paul Revere. Maybe a little strong. Some people say, let's step out there boldly and go with the Friends of Paul Revere. That will draw heat to us most likely, and we do not need that heat or exposure. We're sub rosa. I've sat in many a crowd looking like a local, and down deep inside I had a squiggly in my ear, ready to play ball when the time was ready. So we need to rise up when the time is right. We need to stay as Casper and travel through the crowds invisibly if possible. Let nothing hang on our screen. I'll teach you those things too. Do not be emotionally tied. You can walk through any crowd and they won't even damn see you. If you have no emotion, fear, or anything attached to you, you'll float right through a crowd. They'll never even know you're there. Do you know of everyone that you've ever walked past or walked past you? Unless they were drawing your attention, they'd float right past you like Casper. That's what we need to do. This isn't a game, people. I'm not doing this as a game. I'm not doing this for self-gain. Although it will come because I'm bringing value to you. I won't receive a damn thing from this unless I provide value that others can see and gain value from and learn. Our weapon is education and numbers. Education, persistence, follow through, a commitment to put your energy into this, your shoulder or your purse, either or works, to further our movement. You do those things, you're going to be in that house on the hill. And you'll do it without even knowing it. Because as my father used to always tell us, when we need to do something, we can't understand why we're doing it. Don't worry about the mule. That's what you're doing. Don't worry about that mule. That mule's going to be fine. Just load the wagon. Keep telling the story. Go tell more people. Load the wagon with your telling people your story. And at the end of the day, you'll look back and you'll go, my God, look at the value that I've gained. Look at the value that I have gained, the energy that I've accumulated and stored. That's the same as money. Make no mistake about it, it's not your money that they're after. What you call money is just a storehouse of value. This right here could be considered money. You know, in some cases, it could really be considered money. But It has intrinsic value, value that others see that they want. That's all that the piece of paper with green ink on it is called the U.S. dollar. It's just a representation that people trust that has value. Other people had to put their shoulder, their mind, their creative abilities, their video skills, whatever it is, they had to put their work into it. Others saw that it had value, and they were willing to give up some of their stored energy that they work for, money, in acquiring that. And so they use these dollars. They use these dollars out there to say, hey, I got one of these. That means I worked real hard, or someone worked real hard, that I came about this, be hook or crook. I come by this dollar. I'll give you this dollar of stored energy that you can go and you can spread that stored energy around, and you can get other people to exchange what they've got with you. That's all money is, people. You can use your shiny pebble. You can use gold. You can use Bitcoin. You can use freeze-dried food. That's what I would suggest that you do. That's going to be worth a whole lot. Coffee, cigarettes, liquor, freeze-dried food. That'll carry a hell of a lot more weight and have more value to people when they're hungry as hell than would be a big old huge rock of gold. They can't eat that rock of gold. They can't cut it up and give it to those kids, but they damn sure can that freeze-dried food. You better hear me. That's a hot tip right there. We need to do that as a group and do things together. So I hope that I'm making sense here. For the person who asked me, by the way, it's a good friend of mine, that's been critiquing this all along. Look down there and see how many followers I've got. A handful, very few. But I'm going to be going on national radio shows very soon as this launches. Those people that have the foresight and the sense enough to hop on board before that happens, I'm going to show you without a doubt, once you put some skin in the game, once you show me you're for real, how much skin in the game is going to be up to you. It's going to be up to you. I'll say this will blow you away. And I've thought about this a lot because I'm zero risk here of saying this. Whatever you put in, you'll receive 10 times or more of that per month. Per month. From now till the boat don't float. Hey, like that. Put in $1, you get 10 every month. How's that? I'm making that proclamation right now. How am I going to do that? I'm not going to tell you until you got skin in the game. You can rescind that after 30 days. If you don't like, anytime within the first 30 days, you can back out, hit the road. I don't need you. We don't need you. We'll pray for you. Some will, some won't. So sad, we got to move on. Someone else is waiting that has common sense and can learn. You see, you're a first responder. How much value would you give, or how much would you give to someone who risked their life, changed all of their plans to come and save your ass from sure disaster and potentially death? How much is that worth to you? That's why you have value to us. You have reach of people that I don't. If you've got 5 people that are passionate about this country, that share those same values, then you're already on the house on the hill. You already have your new fishing boat. You already have the ability to meet us in press flesh at one of our personal upfront gatherings that we're going to have. They're trying to take us apart where we don't press flesh. Hell, they're telling you can't go to church. They arrested a pastor. Oh, good God. But that's one powerful dynamic against another. Burn in hell if you don't go to church. There's a lot of these things. I believe and I know in the divine creation of all of us by a single source, the source of all good. No matter how you cut that pie up, how you look at it, it's only one source. And we are co-creators with that source. This is what they've told me to do. The source told me, this is your mission, Ramblin'. You've got to get the word out. It's up to you. Not the guy next door, not this guy. I'm giving this message to you. You have to go out and pass on the same passion to other people, and then they have the message. Once a person who has been honestly mistaken all of their life learns the truth, They either cease to be mistaken or they cease to be honest. What say you? I'll share with you the truth once you show me that you're sincere. There isn't any way on God's green earth that you can prove me wrong. Period. If you cannot prove me wrong, then your gratuity to take a peeky poo will not come back to you. You'll remember it. It will be a sting. Okay? It will hurt. You'll always think, man, look at the shape I'm in now. They just took my job away. I was a night clerk at a hotel and they put a kiosk in. Now I have no revenue stream. You could have already saved 20 people's lives and their families by being a first responder and bringing them into this community and let them share their value with us and the things that they see. You know, when something breaks loose as it did in Dallas, at that club, or in Florida, you know, with all that, if we had 1 million members of our little community, and we simply said, hey, is anybody in Dallas right now that can get down there and take some pictures and let us know what's really going on? Or if anybody's anywhere, get on down there, and the people's army of eyes and ears are on the spot, Johnny up front and personal, and they're shooting that content back to the rabbit hole, and we can all see it. I'd damn sure throw someone a penny, a nickel, dime, or quarter for going down there and taking the pictures and that we see on the mainstream media or on cable nowadays. Damn near both the same nowadays. And it's totally different. You know, it's green screened, you know, or something like that. Did you see where they called Joe Biden walking up, giving a little speech, and then his hand just like this? It came between the green screen or whatever it is. You could tell that it was an overlay. He wasn't even walking on that damn road. There's so much that we can share. And once you bring your awareness up and you share your story of truth with us, we know then that we can use that to make critical decisions in thinking. Chrissy Ann Hall, she is a constitutional attorney. Her husband works with her. They're great researchers, sub rosa researchers. She'll teach. She does now. The Constitution, the rule of law, applied equally to all, in our Bill of Rights. We have got hundreds of people. Jimmy Church, Clyde Lewis, Quite Frankly, Amazing Polly, Spiro, Lisa Haven, John B. Wells, the list goes on, the Black Conservative Patriot, Thomas Paine. You know, there's so many out there that there's slipping my mind right now of all those that I'm forgetting. But I have a list of about 14 people, followers that I follow, and I gain value from the content that they go out and create. I want to be able to have millions of people flip them a penny. Do the math. Do the math. People start hearing about Joe Blow called in on one of our regular calls. This is a story that will happen in the future. And Joe Blow said, I just became part of the community. I listened to Rambling and the message behind of what we're doing. I was down by the river today and I was fishing, have a little dinner for tonight, and have to cut back on a lot of things to be able to buy Similac for the kids. But I was fishing, and I was listening to the rabbit hole or your regular calls, and I heard someone ask a question that everybody's been trying to find the answer to. And I knew the answer to that question, he said, in this hypothetical. So he called in, and he was able to get through. And he said, you know, someone asked a question that says real important about something just moments ago. I heard that. Here's my take on it. And he blurts out his truth, his wisdom. And the entire community sees that and flips that person a dime. And let's say we had 1 million or 2 people. Do the math. His ship just came in. And it was no skin off anybody's nose. I think I damn sure give a penny to if I'm having a bad day and someone took a picture of the little baby, made me smile. That damn smile's worth a penny, isn't it? If someone tells you the damn bridge is out and you're doing 150 miles an hour, do you think that's worth a dime or a quarter? I do. Do the math. You think that Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, anybody would give someone $100,000 for saying one thing? Shit, no. They'll tell you to look at the ads on the right so that they can get a little revenue. They're making trillions of dollars off you. We're going to change that. You know, I had a platform up a while back, and some of these people that you hear that are helping me out, they were able to launch with me. We were blown out of the water the first 5 days because it was carrying too much truth. Our programmer turned out to be an Antifa member. He lives 60 miles outside of Minneapolis. Blew us out of the water, destroyed. I'm not going to bitch about it, but enough out of my pocket to buy a Bentley, and blew us out of the water. I would have been blown out of the water anyway. They took Parler down. I was before Parler. I was right after MeWe. And so anyway, I have battle scars. I know how to do this. For those people that ask, well, why don't you tell us how to do it and how we can make money? I'll show you how you can accumulate more energy, which is what money actually is. I'll tell you why I make that statement. Every single thing in life starts with a single thought. Continuously focusing on it, you're going to bring that from the ambient into the third dimension, into this world that we live in. If I want to get up and go out that door, I got to have an initial thought. I have to continuously feed that thought with energy, new thought, and before you know it, I'm on the other side of that door. That's the way things work. If they want you to be afraid, put that mask on. The first thing they got to do is Falsey has got to put on 2 masks. He's got to tell you that the variance is coming in until they set the hook. Then you're going to do anything that they want. I say that God has given us, the Creator has given us the ability to fight these diseases naturally. But they don't want us to know that because they've got that hook in your lip. They're guiding you around. If it's not the mask, it's going to be something else. You have to be able to vet and discern this, and from having information given to you by a friend, a member, a trusted member, that we can then take their ideas that they tell us, and we can vet it through 1 million people, find out, try to shoot bullets and, holes in this story this person, member, told us. If it's true, we all need to be aware of it. And if it is true, we need to anoint that person with tokens of appreciation to show the value that they brought to this community. That's all it takes. All it takes. I'm not going to go any further into this. Hopefully this will answer your question. Anyone that says, well, how do you do it? I'll tell you. I'll show you right up front. I'll have a one-on-one meeting or small groups of people on Zoom or whatever the hell it is. And I'll go into detail, but I'm not going to do it in a public forum. I will not do it in a public forum. I will be shooting myself in the foot and destroying this if I blurt this out and someone takes this and haphazardly goes and slings it about. Can you imagine, and we'll picture this, and we'll take you back into what they call caveman times. What if there was a ray gun like on Flash Gordon, or a particle separator, device, or a large weapon, or hell, for that matter, an AR-15? Laying on the beach and a bunch of cave people walked up and they're dancing around. Woo! What the hell is that? You've seen those kind of things. They pick it up or staring in the barrel and all that stuff. Someone's playing with the trigger down there and they're staring in the barrel. They don't know what the hell it is. That's the power of this. I'm not going to show you, just throw you a nuclear weapon and say, hey, figure this out. We'd all go up and smoke real quick. You've got to learn the power of this. You've got to appreciate it. You have to become a first responder. When you're a first responder and you go out and you find another mind, we're going to win this, like Dave says, one mind at a time. That's of great value, and we will show our appreciation for your work of being a first responder and going out there and finding us another mind. We're not going to be able to do this unless we have millions of people I'll say this about the millions of people. Why do you harp on that? Let's say that right now we had someone call in from someplace in America that's having a problem, saying that they're doing this and doing that. If we only had enough for flyers and gasoline money to get down there and fight it, we could beat this. We need about 10,000 in U.S. worthless paper fiat money. Within 1 nanosecond, we could take that to our forum. And then peer-to-peer, one person at a time, they could flip them a penny, nickel, dime, or quarter. Problem solved. Hello, Soros. We the people. Together we stand. And there's more of us than there is of you. Let's play ball. That's enough for this beautiful Sunday morning here in the deep piney woods of East Texas. I hope you understand now why I just don't blurt it out. If you want to know, you listen to me. If you want to know, any of these people, if I've got that little backdrop back there, if anyone wants to know how they can get slap silly rich, and I guarantee it, that word right there, guarantee, got me 2 years one time, 2 years, that the feds busted me on fake charges that we found out later that were fake charges. So I have a hard on. I have a bone to pick. I'm pissed at the evil U.S. government. And the reason they did it is because I was rolling on Dow Chemical Company for dumping toxins in a bayou outside of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And they put me on ice. That's 20 years ago. But after years of researching, going, hell, fire, I wasn't doing anything really wrong. You know, it's oil business. You know, everybody looks at oil business as being evil, but I was mainstream. They busted me to put me on ice. I'm glad that they did, because it brought me to this point right here. I can tell you firsthand how evil they are. But I didn't quit. I didn't ring the bell. You don't either. Together, we can make this thing happen. If you want to know more about this, play this back. Send me an email. Say, Randy, I'm ready. I'm all in. And we'll start the whole thing just me and you. And if there's already 1 million people and someone asks me I'm all in, then I'll say this. We'll do this thing just me and you. It doesn't make it. It has to start with one person. Every time someone starts, they start an entire new universe. I'm not doing this to make money. This is designed to weaponize you by becoming wealthy. If I can create people based on a fair exchange of value that become wealthy, as you call it, have stored up a lot of energy, enough energy to last them the rest of their life and pass on that energy to their heirs or wherever they want to do with it. If I can do that, we have weaponized you, and we've weaponized you becoming very secure. They're demonetizing people like Sean at SGT, Dave at X22. They're fixing to blow probably Frankie out of the water, quite frankly. They blew Polly out. They've blown a lot of people out. They're trying to blow John B. out. He's having to hop from one YouTube deal to the other. Everything is going to be okay if you think it is. Just think that it is. Believe it and move toward it. I'm going to give you a little trick that they taught us in spook school, in the Navy, spook school. If you're afraid and you're talking to someone, do this. Watch my eyes. Move your eyes left to right and speak loudly. Why? Your mind does not know any difference between you being stationary and you moving if you're moving your eyes from left to right, because in your mind, when you're walking, you're always looking from left to right. When you're walking, you're moving toward a problem, not running from it. So when you go left to right with your eyes, do this. You'll see that it takes the fear away, and in your mind, you're doing a hack on your own mind. You're moving toward what scares you. You're moving forward, and it dissipates the fear. I must have been a little scared because I started talking a little louder. Whoa, don't do that. God bless you and the horse you rode in on. Hopefully you'll send me an email at ramblingrandy's, plural, RamblinRandysRadio@gmail.com. Ramblin' Randy, R-E-N-D-Y-S, radio. Ramblin' Randy's Radio. And say, I'm all in. Show me how. And remember this. If someone says, they'll start out like this. Well, I need an extra $1,000 a month. Well, do the math. What do you need? This isn't for me. It's designed for you. This is yours. I'm taking nothing from it. This whole thing is about you. So don't think this is a home-based business or something. It's to get energy in your pocket. It's designed for you. Don't ask me how much you can make. If you've got passion, like I said, I'm not going to go back over it again. But if you want to make an extra $1,000 a month, throw $1,000 in this thing. I guarantee you, with no fear to use those words, if you follow my instructions, you'll be there monthly. Every single month. Put in 100, every single month 100. That's you. I'm not telling you. I'm not making this decision. There are no rules. We'll standardize after I get 1,000 people. Then everything is going to change. Everything is going to change after I get 1,000 people. You're blessed if you have the sense enough to follow through. And oh, by the way, there's no risk. If what I tell you again, if I can't prove up every single thing, you get your little gratuity back. And then down the road, because you wasn't worth it anyway. I'm not going to train people who won't pull the trigger. Can't. That's no warrior. We are spiritual mercenaries. We are mental mercenaries. We're the people's army of eyes and ears. I'm going in circles and I'm rambling. Go out, create a wonder-filled day, and remember this. Once a person who has been honestly mistaken all of their life learns the truth, they either cease to be mistaken or they cease to be honest. What say you? Go out, smile at a stranger. You'll never know when you're in the midst of angels. And I'll see you on the flip side. Ramblin' Randy, we down.